Patients ask marbles. Ask me why I have marbles here. You know what this is?
Those are furniture movers.
It's a furniture slider.
I know. You got a red light.
Oh, yeah, I'm telling you, patients love this.
One of the things I really like about your office, and when I look at other docs' offices,
Yeah.
I like to pay attention to flow, right? How do things flow? And I love the way this flows here, right? Where somebody can come in first. So when I still do see patients and they have to get rehab, do exercise, I usually have them start there. I like the way this is set up, right? Where you can have this here, you can have this there, and then you can kind of come and check in with everybody. Well.
How are you, my friend? Here. God, I haven't seen you in a while.
What's happening?
No, welcome to my little corner of the world.
Is amazing. This is a medical building.
I know.
This is amazing.
I know.
You're like the only chiropractor in this
I'm
building.
the only chiropractor in this building. Building full of MDs. Only one.
I pull up and it's a hospital.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh yeah, it's in this building. And then as I'm walking in, I see this medical doc, this medical doc, this medical doc. And I'm like, and here I am. We're here to talk about integration and integrative stuff, and you're in a whole building full of...
That's why I came to this building in the first place.
You're in a whole building full of medical doctors. I think that's awesome.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And I'll tell you, one of the benefits are that these medical doctors, they see my name on the directory every time, and the nurses will stop in and say, hey, I didn't know there was a chiropractor in the building, and then they will become a patient.
I would imagine that happens often.
All the time.
Look at this, the rehab room.
You can do so much with low-tech rehab. You can do so much with the resistance bands and the kettlebells.
When we were in the depths of COVID, I bought a whole rehab station for my basement.
Right.
And that's kind of how I did a lot of my working out.
Yeah.
Because I had the platform and I had the really heavy bands and everything, and I still use it.
You know what this is?
Those are furniture movers.
It's a furniture slider.
I know, those are furniture movers.
But do you know how much rehab you can do with this for the ankle and the knee just with this? Yes.
No way, show me something.
Sit on the floor.
Sit on the floor?
Put your back against the wall.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, let's see.
Okay. Put this under your heel.
Yep.
Okay. Now just move it back and forth. No, like in and out.
Like this?
Yeah, heel slides. Knee range of motion, knee mobility.
Look at that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Look, for someone who's got chondromalacia patella, you get knee mobility in there without them having to actively move it.
And I love the low tech approach, and I think that's something that we do really well.
Yeah, I mean, look, you don't need the fancy electronics to do rehab with patients.
The fancy electronics is nice.
Well, they're nice, but you don't need it.
Exactly.
And
you got great pillows. We like the pillows.
Oh, of course. I mean, look, these. I'll do a plug for Pillowise because I've been using a Pillowise pillow for myself for years.
I have one too.
And I even have the travel size. When I go out of town for conferences, I take the travel pillow with me because I can't stand those hotel pillows.
How many times does a patient ask you about changing the mattress?
Oh, at least once every treatment plan.
Right, and then what do I always counter when they ask me? I'm always like, well, you have to look at your pillow first.
Right.
Right? I mean, unless you got however many hundreds of dollars to do a mattress.
I give them the same answer.
Upgrade the pillow first.
In fact, what I'll tell my patients is, before we look at the mattress, let's look at your pillow. And before we decide if we're going to change your pillow, bring your old pillow into me. I will lay you down on my table, and we'll see if the pillow fits you. And if it fits you, great. If it doesn't, we'll look at an upgrade. And then once we fixed your neck and your back, then we'll talk about a mattress.
I like it. I like it.
I mean, here's the analogy I use with patients. If your car isn't running well, before you fix the engine, let's see if the tires are flat.
I like that. Yeah. And you got your
and
rollers.
then we got the nice clear space for the floor exercises.
I used to have a lot more rehab space, but I don't have so much of it anymore because most of the day I'm working and there's PT in the next suite over.
Right. See, I do the PT myself, and in a perfect world, one day when I expand my services, I'm gonna find a space that has like twice the rehab size because if I had twice the floor space, there's so much more rehab I could do. My only limitation right now is square footage.
Yeah. And then you could walk up and down your hallways and try to find a good PT.
Oh, exactly, exactly.
This is great.
Yeah,
and you have a little even stuff for hand therapy too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, the finger web is great for it's great for carpal tunnel syndrome.
Oh yeah.
It's great for trigger thumb.
And I'm telling you right now, most chiros, you can integrate hand rehab into an office really well.
It's
easy, it's cost effective.
Minimal equipment, minimal space.
Yeah, hand and wrist therapy is really easy to implement. And it's really valuable for a lot of people, especially ones that are working on desks all day. And,
And I love this. Patients ask marbles. Ask me why I have marbles here.
So you can lose them in front of the patient.
No, I've already lost mine.
So you can.
Okay, imagine you have plantar fasciitis.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, okay.
And I tell you to pick
I've
up
had
each
it.
marble with your toes one at a time.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't.
I'm not going to take my shoes off and show you, but
yeah.
you know,
I
easy
used
rehab.
to have I used to have a thing of nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
The PTs taught me that.
Yeah.
Right. Is that I used to have a thing of nuts and bolts and used to have patients kind of do that and
Yeah.
screw this and I used to
Yeah.
have the screwdriver and the wrench board and all the other stuff.
Now
too.
that's actually a good idea too.
Yeah. Yeah. You have like actual tools.
And all right, those of you who've seen my videos, you know that we did one video where I demonstrated a hip hinge.
Okay.
Where do you think I got this?
You probably got that at like Home Depot or something.
Exactly, Home Depot.
I didn't know that. That wasn't rerehearsed, by the way.
No, that was off the cuff.
Yeah, because that's a Home Depot
like,
purchase.
okay,
I could tell.
So for those of you who are out there who are chiropractors or physical therapists, and you're just getting out of school and getting into practice, you can do all the rehab you need with your patients for less than $50.
Yeah.
You know, Home Depot, Toys R Us.
Toys R Us.
You know, you don't need to spend money on the fancy equipment. You can, and it looks great to the patient, but you don't need to go overboard. You can do all the rehab you need with minimal output.
Especially when you're starting out. You want to try to keep things, as low cost as possible for young chiros that are out there, young therapists that are out there. You know, small investment can have big dividends.
And as you grow, you can upgrade to like the shockwave therapies and the vibration plates, etc. This is one of our therapy rooms. Of course, we have the the massage chair.
Oh yeah.
It's got the arm massage, the forearm massager, the calf massager.
Patients love this.
Patients fall asleep in this chair.
I know. I had a bunch of these in my office too, many moons ago, right?
Yep. And of course
you got your dry needling station.
We have the dry needling station, which
got everything.
When I took the dry needling course, I was taught you put the station on wheels. That way, it goes with you from room to room.
Mine were on wheels too. Yeah.
Yep. And then of course we've got the. Let me just plug it in here. But we've got the
no way.
The red light therapy.
You got a red light.
Oh yeah, I'm telling you, patients love this.
So you do the dry needles on, say, someone's back. Do you integrate that?
Well, it depends. You don't want to heat because the needles aren't metal.
Oh, that's true.
So you don't want to heat them up.
Okay.
But if I'm doing dry needling on the lumbar region,
then
I can do the near infrared on the cervical region.
And that's a true near infrared, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh, yes, it is.
Oh yeah, it gives off some good heat.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, and it's so relaxing. And of course we have the muscle stim. It's got interferential, it's got TENS, it's got low volt galvanic.
Nice. That's all you need.
Yeah, it's everything. So of course we have the heart of the clinic.
This is where the magic happens.
This is where the magic happens.
This is where we do all the adjusting.
This is where I do all the adjusting.
It's a really nice table.
This is where I take my new patient histories. This is where I do the report of findings.
I love this. This is great. This is a really nice, and then you have all your stuff.
Of course, well, you know.
Yeah, I think this is a tremendous office.
Thank you.
This looks terrific. Yeah. I'm thoroughly impressed.
And then we have another therapy room. It's basically the same as the other one. I mean, it's got the muscle stim. It's got the hydro massage table.
Okay.
And of course, the dry needling station and the infrared lamp can move from room to room.
Yeah.
I've got everything I need here.
This is great. One of the things I really like about your office, and when I look at other docs' offices, I like to pay attention to flow. Right? How do things flow? And I love the way this flows here, right? Where somebody can come in first, and then a lot of times when I used to see patients, or when I still do see patients, and they have to get rehab or do exercise, I usually have them start there, right? So what I'll do is over to the rehab section. In my case now, I do a lot of stuff with PTs, so it's go do your exercises first.
Right.
So I like when a patient comes in, they can kind of get right into it right there.
Yep.
And then afterwards, you can bring them into whichever room, if you're gonna do any passive stuff, if you're gonna do electric stim, if you're gonna put them on the chair, and then like the adjustment room, I like how it's framed, and everything kind of flows really nice, and you have good lighting.
Yeah,
well,
that's
good
important
lighting
too.
counts, Yeah, I mean, I used to use a lot of electric stim. I noticed that you don't have an ultrasound.
No, and
I moved away from ultrasound. I think it's still really valuable. I moved away from it, and my thing was because a lot of the patients, when I used to do ultrasound, they couldn't feel it.
Right.
And so for me, I always liked to have a patient feel something.
Patient wants to feel something.
I always defaulted to electric stim.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And I love the massage chairs because here's a regular chair. That's a chair that kind of massages you a little bit. So what's the difference? You would rather sit in this chair, right?
Oh, of
so I
course.
know that when I had my office, I had a few of these things around the office, and that's where I used to put patients either when they were waiting to get adjusted or waiting to do something else. I would always just put them in the massage chair.
Well, I'll tell you, when I have a new patient coming in and their spouse comes in with them, the spouse will come into the exam room with me
100%,
and they'll look at the chair and they'll say, oh, when do I get to use that?
Yeah, it's 100%. I love that.
Oh, yeah,
and
absolutely.
it's good. I mean, you know, we used to call those practice builders, right? I mean, because it's like, you know, people just love the chair.
Right.
And you have the hydro bed in here too.
Patients love this. It is so relaxing.
I love those hydro beds, right? And that's, again, something that you just put on there in order sometimes for patients to get the adjustment to work right and to get the adjustment to hold. They need to be as relaxed as possible.
Right.
And so that's why a lot of times chiros will do whatever we possibly can to try to relax the patient before we adjust them.
Right, exactly.
Because otherwise, if you have patients with muscle guarding or they're fighting you anyway, the adjustment's not going to work. The patient's going to be, you know, it may be uncomfortable for them. So the more we can relax them, the better. So I like to see
and
that.
sometimes it goes the other way too. If they're not totally guarded when they first come in, but they're still tight, you adjust them, you have them do their rehab, and then if they finish with the muscle stim and the water bed, they finish with the most relaxing therapies and they walk out of here feeling like jello, which is what we want.
I used to sort of play with it in different ways, right? Sometimes I would adjust patients last, then other times I would either have them on a chair or something like a relaxing modality, like either a intersegmental traction or, you know, one of the massage chairs last. And I used to kind of play with it and see what they prefer.
And it's case by case. Each patient and each visit is going to be slightly different depending on how they present each day.
Yeah, and patient preferences and values are a really big part of practice. Right? I mean, they're the third leg in the three-legged evidence-based stool, right? So if you have to want to have an evidence-based practice, it's, you know, what's the best published, you know, available data for you to use, what's your experience and expertise, but then a big part of it is what the patient's like. And so I know there's a lot of chiros out there or a lot of PTs out there or whoever, and their office is filled with stuff that the patients either don't like, it's uncomfortable, stuff like that. So you have to have stuff patients like. I mean, otherwise, why else are they going to come in?
Why would you spend the money on something if patients are going to say, I don't want that?
I mean, we know most patients like getting adjusted or else they wouldn't be here. But if you can put other things in your office that the patient likes, it's even better.
Exactly.
I love
and honestly, that's one of the reasons why 9 times out of 10 I'll choose to go with the low-tech rehab. Because low-tech rehab is less daunting to a patient than if you got to hook them up to some electronic machine.
And it's not intimidating.
Exactly.
So I've seen environments before where, you know, you walk in and it's like this huge, I mean, it looks like a Gold's Gym or something.
No,
in there,
but worse yet, it looks like the command center of the Starship Enterprise.
And so I like the way this is set up, right? Where you can have this here, you can have this there, and then you can kind of come and check in with everybody.
Because you know why?
I like
this looks like a low-tech gym. People are comfortable in the gym. They're not comfortable in the Space Shuttle Command Center.
You know,
First of all, thank you for coming by.
It's awesome,
because
man. I love seeing this. I haven't seen the new place.
I've been wanting you to see this place for years.
This is. I mean, but it's been far too long.
I love the fact. I appreciate the fact that you came down. We
appreciate
don't get together often enough.
No, I know.
So I'm. Thank you for coming to the office. Thank you for spending your time with me. Thank you for letting me show you around. And for those of you who want to see more of Dr. Crivelli and I bouncing ideas off of each other,
we had a nice discussion.
Stay tuned for part 2 because we have a great discussion about patient care, about the future of healthcare, about the future of our profession and the allied professions. You're going to learn a lot. So please tune in for the next video.
This was terrific, man. Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I really appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Perfect.